Are you still confused to find out the difference between may versus might, will versus would, shall versus should, can versus could? If yes, then you are at the right place, ladies and gentlemen. In today's video, I am going to talk about the difference among these all modal verbs and the meaning of these modal verbs and how we are going to use in a sentence also. So keep watching the video till the end. If it is really helpful for you, have a like for me, which will keep on motivating me to do the more videos. So let's get started with can versus could. Here I am going to tell you meaning, differences and how we are going to use in a sentences. First of all, can talk about ability and request. For example, can you lift the weight of 50 kg? Here you can notice that you want to understand the someone ability, isn't that? Let's see next example. Can you give me a pen? Here you can notice that you are requesting someone to give you someone pen, isn't that? That means here the meaning of can is requesting someone. Let's understand about could. Could talk about past ability, future possibility and suggestion. Could is the past form of can. Let's see an example by using the modal verb could. And the example is Narayan could swim when he was young. Here you can notice that we are talking about the past ability of Narayan, isn't it? Hope you understood about can versus could. Let us move on to the next modal verb, that is will versus would. At first, will we are using in the future tense and would you are using in the past tense or present tense. Let's see an example by using will, and the example is I will play with you tomorrow. Here you can notice that I am talking about future. That means in future I am going to play, isn't that? Let's see an example by using would, and the example is I would play with you right now. As I already said you, would you are using in the present or past. So here you can understand I am talking about present, isn't that? Let's see another example, and the example is would you dance with me? Here also you can able to notice the same thing like earlier, isn't that? In summary, I want to tell you will or would you are using when you are willing to do something. It may be present, past or future. So guys, let us move on to the next modal verb, that is shall versus should. At first, shall we can use with the first person when it comes to future statement. The first person near I and we can use shall. Let's see an example for better understand, and the example is I shall go Delhi tomorrow. Here you can notice that I am talking about future here, so that I am using shall. Shall we can use with the second and third person also. Use shall with the second person or third person when it comes to command, promise, threatening and compulsion. Let's see an example for command. He shall sit outside of the office. Here you can notice that we are giving command to someone to sit outside, so that we are using shall here. Let's see the next example with promise, and the example is he shall be awarded. And the example for threatening is if you do this you shall be dismissed. For compulsion, the example is you shall come to college at 10 am. So guys, let's understand about should. Should you are using when it comes to compulsion, moral obligation, duty or advice. If you understand Hindi, use should when it comes to chahiye, that means compulsory. Let's see an example for better understand, and the example is children should obey their parents. Here you can notice that we are talking about moral obligation or compulsion, isn't that? Hope you understood about shall and should. Let us move on to the next modal verb, that is may versus might. At first, may talk about present and might talk about past. Use may when it comes to present possibility. Use might when it comes to past possibility. Let's see an example for better understand, and the example is it may rain today. Here you can notice that presently there is a possibility of rain, so that is the reason we used here may. May also can be used when it comes to formal or wishing something. Let's see example for formal. May I come in, sir? Here you can notice that you are formally asking to come in, isn't that? Let's see example for wishing something, and the example is may God bless you. Let us talk about might. As I already told you, might we are using for future possibility. So let's get into an example for clarification. And the example is, if you hurry, you might get there on time. Here you can notice that we are talking about past possibility, isn't that? Hope you learned something from today's video. Thank you for your attention.